welcome to this session in which we will discuss claims and judgment, how to account for those under governmental fund accounting. Claims and judgment falls under the accounting categories of contingent liabilities, something that we should be familiar with from financial accounting or intermediate accounting. So what is a contingent liability? Contingent liability is something might happen in the future, and as a result, will have an outcome. So a contingent liability is a potential obligation as a result of that event happening, and we might have an obligation, a liability, if that happens. The classic example of contingent liabilities is a lawsuit. You are being sued, waiting for the results. Based on the result, you might have a liability. Therefore, the liability is a contingent liability. Contingent means if this happened, we might have a liability. And it's covered under GASB statement number 5. And it's very important to go back and review when do we record a contingent liability under full accrual, which is accounting full accrual. Well, two conditions must exist. One, the contingent liability, it's probable we are going to lose because we have to set a probability. And if the probability is remote or possible, we don't have to do anything. If it's probable, we might have to do something. If it's probable, it means good chance likely to happen. And remember, and it's not only this condition, and the amount of the liability must be measurable. You can estimate how much the loss is going to be. So you have to have two conditions. One, it's probable, good chance I am going to lose. Two, I can measure the loss. If both of these conditions are met, the liabilities gets recorded. So measurable and probable. Now, if it's only remote or possible, all what I have to do from a financial accounting is disclose the case in the notes. Now, this is for financial accounting. That's great. Now, how do we account for this for governmental fund financial statements? This is what we will discuss in this session. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we proceed any further, I have a public announcement about my company, farhatlectures.com.
Hello, my name is Farhat. You are here because you are either an accounting student, a finance student, or someone who's studying for their CMA or CPA exam. Great. You are looking for some additional help, and we can help you. I strongly encourage you to visit my website, farhatlectures.com. I offer additional lectures, resources, including PowerPoint slides, multiple choice questions, in some circumstances, exercises, and true-false questions. Our material is aligned with your CPA review courses, with your CMA review courses, with your college courses. I offer a risk-free trial that you can try to find out whether my website can help you or not. If you find it helpful, you subscribe, you keep your subscription. If not, you cancel and your risk is free. If you like this recording, if you like my lectures, you would like what's on the website, give me a chance to help you with your college courses as well as professional certification. I hope to see you on the website.
So under governmental fund, claims and judgment are treated differently than the private sector. We're going to go back to that basic concept of expenditure. For something to be recorded an expenditure, it has to use current financial resources. What does that mean? Only expenditure payable with available expendable financial resources. In other words, funds the government plan to spend soon. If that's the case, if we have to pay for this lawsuit now or 60 days after year end, guess what? It's going to hit the expenditure button. We're going to check that box. Otherwise, long-term obligation, for example, payments spread over multiple years are not recorded as a liabilities because we don't have long-term liabilities. It's as simple as that. So we would only record the amount that we have to pay this period or 60 days after year end. So key points to remember. In governmental funds, liabilities are recorded at face value because we don't discount. Sometimes we might lose a case and we might have to discount the payment at the present value. We don't do that for governmental fund. We don't look into the future. We don't look at long-term debt. Now, bear in mind, just for a realistic example, most governments, for whatever they are sued for, they will have some sort of an insurance it will be covered, but here we're assuming there is no insurance. Okay, so no long-term view on the fund financial statement. Only portion that will be paid in the near future are recorded. This is important. So the rest appears in a schedule of long-term debt, basically off the books from the fund financial statements. What should you do now? Go to Farhat Lectures, look at additional resources if you are an accounting student or studying for your professional certification like your CPA. Invest in yourself and stay safe.